the free astrotheology course, okay? So we're still on page 22. This is who is the man with the jar of water, number 25. Can y'all believe that? 25. Man. 25. So that means at minimum there's 25 hours, but probably there's more likely between 40 and 50 hours. I think most of the videos are either 1 to 1.5 hours. Some might be 2, but I think few, which is good. Because this is actually a very, very important section of our textbook. And our textbook is, as you can see, the Gospel and the Zodiac, The Secret Truth About JC, the Christ Figure. The author is Bill Darrell-El. All right, so as you know, the link to the free PDF is in the description area of this video. Let me see if I can get the camera right. I want to have it so that let me see if I can just put, the screen that I see may not match, the screen may not be the same as the screen that you all see. I want to get the light out of the background, but since it's a little bit difficult, I'm going to have to adjust the camera, and at least, you know, it looks more symmetric with the 2 lights. But anyway, let's get going. Page 22, I want to review something. Y'all make sure y'all like and share the video. A gentleman's agreement. If you have been coming here and haven't subscribed, you've been here at least twice, go ahead and subscribe. Okay? It's not invitation. It's not an invitation. It's a demand, and I'm demanding it because YouTube shadow bans my channel. All right. So the only way this video is going to get out is to do the things that influence the algorithm. All right, and that's liking, sharing the video, and commenting. So if you're coming here, do all 3. If you already subscribed, like the video, put a comment, even if it's just hello or shalawama or Islam. That's the minimum you can do. All right. Otherwise, you know, if you don't want to contribute to my work, I just prefer you go somewhere else. Okay. No one-way streets with Dr. Yasako. All right, so gentlemen's agreement that you subscribe, like the video if you stay more than 5 minutes, all right? There's an image that I want to show you all, say a little bit more about it. We're still on Libra, okay? So we covered almost everything. We need to continue to the story of the rich young man. I'm on page 22. The Libra section of Mark starts on chapter 10 and runs through verse 1 through 31. Okay? So we covered the teaching on marriage. So go back. If you haven't seen that, go back and check it out. It's really, you know, in my opinion, very profound information if you can make the connection. If you can make the connections, okay? Now, I'm presenting the connections that I see. So if you're following me, you should find this very interesting and profound, okay? How all of these things work. That is the gospel, the Old Testament, constitutional law, nature, cosmology, mythology, art, politics, religion, finance. So all of these things. Okay, the natural law principles, or Hermetic laws, so on and so forth. Okay, so now we're going to check into the story of the rich man. Okay, story of the rich man is what we're going to get into, and we still need to find the information on the zodiacal keyword phrase / phrase, the sign of mutual reciprocity. I did the same thing yesterday. Reciprocity, mutual reciprocity. Okay, everything else we've covered. We've covered everything else. Oh, we didn't cover charm. I don't recall saying charm or the sign of mutual reciprocity, unless, of course, mutual reciprocity has to do with balance. Okay, balance, the Libra scales. Okay, so let's go to the image that I want to show y'all, bring to y'all attention. There's a little bit more. This is in the section of Libra. Okay, here it is. Page 146. So y'all, take a look at the image here. Look at the statue. So here you should see two crosses. Y'all see two crosses? And the scales, you see the equinoxes and the solstices. Look at the crown of thorns representing the sun. The thorns represent the sun rays. Okay? What else do you see? What else are you able to see? The scales. This is the spring equinox. This is the fall equinox, remember? 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night, representing balance, justice, equity, and fairness. Being free from sin, righteousness, right? So these abstract terms have their origin in cosmology. They have their origin in the Zodiac. Balance. Everybody see that? So as was mentioned in the text, now the scales themselves are the equinoxes. This bar to which the scales are attached, this bar is, according to the author, the fulcrum. The fulcrum representing the balance of the year, or the focal point of the year. This line here. Okay? So you'll notice this is the summer solstice. This is the Christ. Notice the thorn of crowns. Looks like the Statue of Liberty, right? So this is the Christ, June 21, summer solstice. The thorn of crowns are the sun rays. This is Christ with his crown of thorns. Everybody see that? This is the vertical line down here. This is the winter solstice, December 21st. December 21st. So this is the maximum, this is the day that has the maximum number of nighttime hours. Evil and wickedness occurs at night and in the darkness. So take the D off of dark, prefix to evil, and you get devil. Okay, so this is the lower self. This is the higher self. June 21, the sun is at its highest point in the northern sky. This represents the maximum number of daylight hours. Y'all got it? Christ is teaching in the temple when the sun is at its highest point. Usually that's referred to at 12 o'clock in the afternoon during the day. But the same concept would apply here because the sun is at its maximum point in the northern part of space. Everybody see that? So this is the higher self. The Hermetic Principles involved here, the law of polarity, the same thing or something that has the same nature that only differs in degree. Okay, differs in degree. All right, y'all see that? The Hermetic law of vibration, nothing stands still, everything vibrates. Literally everything vibrates. Okay, so there can be vibration, or there is vibration, up and down this line. Okay, polarity. Everybody see that? Movement, you can move through your will to any point on this line using the natural law of mental gender. Mental gender, okay? You can be controlled by someone else's mind, their masculine mental energy. If you have a weak mental masculine gender energy, okay? What else is going on? The law of rhythm. Rhythm is that law that when you use your masculine energy, you can polarize. Polarize meaning you can literally choose where you want to be on this line. You can choose to be anywhere along this line. All right? And then you can, wherever you choose to be, through your power of your will, your mental masculine energy. Of course, there's more to it than that. There's action, right? Actions that you need to take. I think in the 101 questions of the Moors, this would correlate to getting your birthright back and the trials that you would have to undergo. Okay, those trials and you overcoming them. Okay? So you would have to get your birthright back. I'm trying to think of the exact words that are used. I don't remember, but you would have to go through many trials, right? In order to do what? Build your character. In order to build your character. So that's the circle 7, the compass and the square. All right? And the character will be built by your knowledge of who you are. Remember? That is the masculine I am. And then, of course, your decision to act in harmony or to flip-flop, not harmony, but honor. To be in honor or to flip-flop from honor to dishonor. So you can see that this would be the development of your character. All right? So when you develop good character, when you become civilized, all right? When you become civilized, you're going to be in honor. Okay? You'll be out of religion physically, mentally, and emotionally. You'll act in honor, which means you'll live your life according to the principles of your ancient foremothers and forefathers. Doing that, you're polarizing in honor. And you're staying there, and you got there through the law of rhythm. Okay, rhythm and masculine mental energy. Y'all see it? Now you can use those same laws, or those same laws can be against you. I don't know you. Okay, and you can be polarizing here in dishonor. corrupting the blood of the contract and being hit with Attainder and bills of Attainders, getting Escheated, Attainder and hypothecated, you're in the curses. Okay, Deuteronomy 15 through 28, this is dishonor. All right, this would be the blessings. Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14. Okay, this is when you get your birthright back. This is when you get the tangible wealth. You get your nationality back, right? The nobility that's talked about in Deuteronomy chapter 28, 1 through 14. Everybody sees how these Hermetic principles apply here. So this is the summer solstice. And I just reviewed, and then cause and effect, right? I almost forgot. Cause and effect. So when you are in a situation where your old self, your old dishonorable self, your old religious self, or your old scary self can either continue to dominate you, meaning that you act on those thoughts and impulses, those fears, and that belief system that you got from the external deities who you're worshiping, or having taken control, knowing who you are, that you are a more, and that your heritage is nature, natural law, cosmology, and being in honor and staying in honor at all costs. You choose through your behavior, through the decisions that you make and your behavior, which demonstrates to the world that you are honorable. Okay, even if it costs you something great, you remain in honor. Okay, so that takes me to the next discussion. This line here, these are the equinoxes. Okay, spring equinox, autumn equinox. Okay, this would correlate to, and thank you, I think it was Roro yesterday who brought out that Ma'at, the Ma'at principle is here. Okay, so in that story, Ma'at weighs the heart to determine if you are honorable or dishonorable. Okay, so if you're honorable, the feather is light. Light would be what? Okay, sunlight. Light is enlightenment. Light is honor, right? Christ said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. Anyone who wants to come to the Father must come through me, the way, the Maserat, the Zoad. I am the Zodiac. I am nature. I am the truth and the light. Okay, so you see the truth when the lights are turned on. Okay, when the lights are turned on maximum, that means the sun is at a 90-degree angle to the earth or to the equator. That means that there's maximum light. So you can see everything, you can observe everything. That's the truth. Here, when there's, in the winter solstice, okay, which is ruled by evil and wickedness, there's the minimum amount of light. In other words, darkness dominates light, and it reaches its maximum degree of domination. In fact, the sun is said to be dead. Y'all get it? Here in the autumn, the sun or the light is being humiliated by the increasing number of hours of nighttime as we leave summer and go into the fall. And eventually the sun will be completely humiliated, and then what? Crucified, right? Crucified at the autumn equinox. All right? And then darkness, we enter into the gates of hell on September 19th. So we get into dense darkness until we reach the maximum point of darkness on December 21, 22, which is the winter solstice. So we talk about darkness as being what? In thick doom, a thick gloom, right? Thick darkness, dense darkness. Okay, everybody see that? So when Ma'at weighs the feather of the heart, or weighs the heart of a dishonorable man or woman, it will be, the feather will be heavy. It will be heavy as in dark. Everybody see the correlation? So here we are at the equinoctial points, the spring equinox, fall equinox. So here we see a sword in the hand. So here we see again, this is the summer solstice and the winter solstice, the vertical line. The horizontal line right here is again the spring and autumn equinox. Okay, so this is a sword. Y'all see that? That's a sword, right? So remove the S from sword, and what do you get? Word. Word. Y'all see that? Put the X as a suffix on word, now you get words. You get words. Okay? Now the equinox is dealing with what? Equality, justice, fairness, equity, stated concretely, 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of night. Okay, everybody see that? Abstractly, this is justice. This is being without sin. This is equity. This is fairness. So the scales of justice in one hand, and words, the sword, again, sword, this is a sword. Remove the S from the prefix position, from the prefix position, and put it in the suffix position, and you get words. You get words. So what is this? This is jurisdiction, right? This is jurisdiction, law language. Law language. Speaking natural law. Through your words. Through your words. You give evidence of what jurisdiction you are in. So when you're speaking the language of your ancient foremothers and forefathers, which is nature, natural law, you see that in the Declaration of Independence. Nature's God and nature's law. You're speaking the law language of the Moors, of nature. Why do I say of the Moors and nature as synonyms? Well, because man is sprung from the soil. Therefore, man and woman, Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, are the manifest, or are the land made manifest, which is nature. Okay? Which is nature. Everybody see that? And all is mind. That's the first Hermetic law or principle. All is mind, mentalism. Therefore, there never has been a time when man was not. All is mind. Mind has always been here. Will always be here. Y'all see that? So we are the land made manifest. Hence we are what? The substance and subject matter of the law. Libra. 12 hours of daylight, 12 hours of night. The balanced scales. No injustice, no inequity. Free from sin. Perfect. Y'all see it? So the words can cut like a sword, right? The tongue cuts like a sword. We pronounce our words. Well, the tongue is the major, one of the major organs, at least it's visible to the eyes, that allows us to speak our words. Y'all see that? And words cut like a sword. So you live by the sword or you die by the sword, right? You live by your words or you die by your words. This is why the policy enforcers will tell you, or the Judeo-Christian legal system, anything you say can and will be used against you. If you're speaking religious, if your words reflect that you are a religious believer or member, or you just put yourself in the jurisdiction of the Dogon, Oannes, the Raphaim, the canon law, Admiralty Maritime Canon Law, Christianity, you just, out of your own mouth, expired yourself. In other words, you just confessed to being civilly dead, Civiliter Mortuus, having no rights. Everybody see that? Having no rights. Okay? So that's really what I wanted to point out to you all today, to try to make that clear. And see here, if you look here, this is also another cross. If you look carefully at it, it's another cross. Okay? All right. Okay, so I hope everyone is able to was able to understand and follow. If not, go back and listen to it again. Go back and review the Kabbalion by the 3 initiates, so you can get your concepts right on how all of this works in terms of us becoming honorable and staying in honor, how those Hermetic laws and principles work, and how we can use them to our advantage. And then what is being done to us. Like in medicine, if someone has an illness, well, really all you need to do to help them or to cure it is identify the mechanism that is causing that illness, and then you correct the mechanism. You do whatever, provide or stop whatever is causing that mechanism to be initiated, okay, or to not function properly, okay? So you fix that, and the person is restored to normal health. It's the same thing here, okay? Same thing here. And then apply the Hermetic law of polarization. Okay, so for example, let's say you're a thief or an extortioner. Okay, so you're greedy. The extreme opposite of being greedy would be being given. Okay, so you would begin to practice being giving to others. Right? Doesn't mean you're giving them fiat. You can give whatever you have to give, or whatever a person needs that you can, and sometimes that just might be time or listening to people. So you practice giving, which would involve, as I said, learning, observing people, what they need, how you can help them, and then you give. Okay? And then you give. So that activates, or that's using the Hermetic law of vibration, the Hermetic law of rhythm, right? Because you want to polarize right at the top, at the extreme of giving. And of course, mental gender. Mental gender. Okay, so learn how to determine the opposites, what your character flaws, whatever they might be. All right, so now you're using the compass and the square, the circle 7. Okay, that's the circle 7, the compass and the square, to correct your character. All right, All of this is coming from nature. Okay, it's all coming from nature. And if there are any Moors out there who disagree with what I'm saying, feel free to contact me, because I would love to hear what you have to say. And you know, if I missed something or if I got something wrong, you just let me know. And if I see it, I'll correct it. All right. And also, I'll say thanks in advance if you see something, or if you know something and you're willing to share it with me. Okay, and you actually share it with me. All right. So I'm trying to think of what. Man, I can't believe I can't remember what it is. I'm thinking about, if someone knows what I'm talking about, it's in I think it's called 101 Questions. It's not crisis. He's not using synonyms for the word I'm looking for. I want to paraphrase it, but it's a test. Crisis, you go through challenges until you develop your character, right? Not just your character, but until you develop your character and understand law. Understand law. Okay? In other words, you are civilized. You return to the constitutional fold of government. This is what I'm trying to say. Okay? It's about being civilized. All right? So anyway, if anybody remembers what I'm talking about, cut and paste it and put it in the comment section, please. So it'll be there for somebody else who watches this video in the future, okay? I would very much appreciate it if y'all would do that. But anyway, you should expect to undergo many challenges, especially from people who are close to you. Especially from people who are close to you. Why? Because they're the ones who generally have the bad character. Right? They're the ones who are generally going to be dishonorable because they've been detached from nature. There's no disrespect. All right? So they are currently, and their ancestors have corrupted the blood. Corrupted the blood of covenant. This is why we are in the curses or the punishments, or why we are in the Attainder rather. All right? That's why. Deuteronomy 28:15 through 68. So it shouldn't surprise us. Okay? Even Christ himself said. Now remember, Christ said, I'm the truth. He says, I'm the way, the truth, and the light. Look at this. Okay, this is the Christ. June 21. Summer solstice. You see the crown of thorns? Y'all see the crown of thorns? Well, guess who put the crown of thorns on him? He didn't do it by himself. Okay, Christ himself said, I'm the way, the truth, and the light. Anybody who wants to come to the Father must come through me. And then they disrespected him and beat him and spat and spat upon him. Y'all remember that? Remember everything that was done to him? Remember what his own people did to him? Remember what the lawyers, what the intellectuals and the lawyers did to Christ? They betrayed him. Okay, they betrayed him. And then they what? They turned him in and recommended that he be killed by Rome. Y'all see that? His own people. His own bloodline. Y'all see the corruption of the blood? All right. And didn't Christ himself say it would be people of your own household? Why? Because they're acting in dishonor. And they have a dishonorable mindset that's disconnected with nature. So what did the people do to Christ? The same thing that they're going to do to you. That's right. That's right. Everything that they did to the Christ, they're going to do to you. So you should expect it. Right? I am the way, the truth, and the light. Christ was saying what? That whatever an honorable man or woman would do in the situations that he was in those stories, whatever he did is what an honorable man would do or woman would do in those situations. Okay? Using the law of polarity, that means what? That whatever dishonorable men and women did to the Christ, they're going to do to you too. You're not above your teacher, as it were. Y'all see it? A student is not above his teacher. Everybody see that? Everybody see it? So to recover and reclaim your birthright is gonna come through events that are painful, but that are meant to help you develop an honorable character and behavior, and to speak the law language of our ancient foremothers and forefathers, the jurisdiction of nature, cosmology. Okay, that is who we are. I'm not talking about devils and demons and spookism and mysticism. I'm talking about hardcore science. Hardcore science, all right? That's what I'm talking about. So one of the technologies that you can use to make things easier for you is meditation, and meditation is looked down upon in Christianity. I wonder why. Okay? Meditation, hypnosis or hypnotherapy, biofeedback, all of these are practiced in hospitals. So y'all religious people can't say, oh, that's demonism. Okay, it's practiced, or these services or therapies are provided in hospitals. All right, so step back with that. And then also self-hypnosis. Self-hypnosis. And a good place to start with all of this, in my opinion, you know what I did? The Silva method. Okay, you can learn about the Silva method and practice. There's a lot of free stuff to help you get started. A really good place to start is biofeedback. Biofeedback. Some of your insurance companies will pay for it. All right, I know people personally who were addicted to crack. Y'all remember crack in the 80s and 90s? They were addicted, but they got off of it through biofeedback. And it was almost unheard of at that time for people to get off of crack. But I know that it's possible with biofeedback because I saw it. I saw it. All right, y'all? So let's continue. Put your comments in the description area of the video. All right, and then I'll read them off and address them. So let's get with it. I think we're looking for charm and the rich man and the sign of mutual reciprocity. Actually, I think mutual reciprocity is also the balanced scales. For example, let's say with the nation states, for example, if you have a license to practice accounting in, let's say, China, no, let's say Philippines, let's say nursing. I know more about that. Nursing, you have reciprocity in Japan. You can practice in Japan, or you can practice in any of the Asian countries. So there's reciprocity with the license. Okay, y'all see that? All right. Or if you look at interstate commerce, there's reciprocity between the states, right? Actually, in fact, records, full faith and credit, I think would be an example of reciprocity, right? Okay. So those records have equal authority in each of the states. Okay, you don't have to do something special or extraordinary. All the states agree that the records in one state hold the same authority and enforceability within the other states. So that's reciprocity. Okay, so yeah, we covered that. That's actually Libra. I didn't think about it until now. Yeah, so full faith and credit, that concept in our Constitution is actually Libra. That's actually Libra. Okay, so what is it? It's actually the equinoxes, balance, fairness, equity. Okay? Everybody see that? If you have a different point of view, just let me know. Put it in the comment section. Page 22. So now let's look. So I'm thinking, so y'all see this image? So we just went through this. I think this is a good representative of the concept of reciprocity and full faith and credit, right? Honoring those records. Okay, everybody has an equal shot in commerce. 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night. Y'all see it? The sword, your ability to enforce your rights. Everybody see that? Okay, so that's why public records are so important. Okay, and also speaking publicly. Okay, everybody see that? So these concepts are reflected or are present in the Constitution. If they're present in the Constitution, you can rest assured that they're present in the Articles of Association and the Confederacy. Okay, you can rest assured of that. All right, but better to check it, right? Better to check it. So let's continue. Okay, so I'm going to begin on page 146, y'all. The quote-unquote ruler of Libra is Venus. The ruler, doesn't that make sense? The ruler of Libra is Venus. Venus, called by astrologers, quote unquote, the lesser benefic. Jupiter is the greater benefic. Since Venus symbolizes good fortune, health, material prosperity, and physical beauty. Now, y'all, Venus is green. Is that correct? A green, represented by a green 5-pointed star. Is that right? So we would be talking about what? The Almoroccan flag. And since we are in autumn, fall, the fall equinox, we should see something that has to do with what? Grace and harvest time as we read through this. Correct? Let's continue. Since Venus symbolizes good fortune, well, there's your covenant of grace. You got everything you need in the harvest, right? Everything is there. That's your good fortune. But what's the meaning of fortune? Fortune means what? Wealth, tangible wealth. Look it up in the dictionary. Estate, tangible wealth. This is riches and wealth. Good fortune means a lot of wealth, tangible wealth. Okay? Look it up. So this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1 through 14. Health. Deuteronomy chapter 28, 1 through 14. This is the blessings, right? We are told that when we return to the Most High, by following His commandments, and let me say it again, His commandments are natural law, being harmonic with natural law, which means you're living according to the principles of your ancient foremothers and forefathers, according to their heritage. Okay? So this is Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. Honor your mothers and your fathers, so that it may go well with you in the land that the Most High is giving you. Hence, when you are dishonorable, you corrupt the blood, you destroy the reputation and the good qualities of your family. And you can extend that to the nation, right? Because it's a bloodline. Okay, so that would be the corruption of the blood. Then you get kicked out. You lose your inheritance. So this is why the Prophet Noble Darrell-El, y'all pay attention to me. Don't get confused or leave because I said Prophet Noble Darrell-El. Whether you think he's a prophet or not, it doesn't matter. Let's just deal with the content of what he said. And you wouldn't call Joe Biden, you would call him President Biden because that's his office, right? Whether you agree with it or not. So don't be simple-minded, ignorant. All right? So just flow with me. This is why the Prophet Noble Darrell-El said, man, I lost my thought. Where was I, y'all? He said that to get your heritage back, you would have to go through many, he didn't use trials and tribulations, but he used a synonym for that. Manifold or manyfold trials and tribulations to get it back. Okay, so here we're saying the same thing. Or we're saying the same thing. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. The five-pointed star of Venus. It's green. On a what? The flag appears to me to be like a cherry red color. So we're in the fall. The fall would be when the sun is falling, the sky has a what? A red color. Now, I don't know if this is where the colors come from. I'm just telling you what I can see. Okay? I'm just telling you what I can see. So the continental flag, you see what appears to be a pine tree. But it's green. Venus is green. So that pine tree, what is it called? I think it's the great tree of peace. Remember I'll come back with it, y'all. I have a document that I've been reading. I'll come back with it. I'll show it. The great tree of peace, or something like that. But it's the basis. It's how our ancestors represented law, where the concepts that are in our present Constitution comes from. But I'll show y'all that image next time I do this, okay? I didn't think I would be talking about it, but anyway, it came to my mind. All right? So health, material prosperity, y'all see that? Material means tangible. This is all of this. These are the blessings. Deuteronomy chapter 28, 1 through 14. And physical beauty. Also Deuteronomy 28, 15. No more birth defects. Right? No more birth defects. If there are no more birth defects, that means what? See, beauty is symmetry. Y'all know that? Beauty is symmetry. That's how we determine what is beautiful, by symmetry, across all cultures. The details vary, but what it has in common is symmetry. Our brain likes symmetry. The same way, I don't feel comfortable. I can't help these two lights being back behind me, but what I can do is adjust them on the screen that I see so that it looks symmetric. If it's not symmetric, it bothers me. All right, so let's continue going through here. In Greek mythology, Venus is Aphrodite, the goddess of love. Okay, so love. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Okay, honor, right? So if you're acting honorably, that includes having a strong I am. Right? The I am, remember, scholars, I am is not in your physical body. That is non-local. It is consciousness. And you must, to have a strong mental, gender, a strong mental, masculine energy, you must know who you are. See, I am doesn't come from nowhere. It has very significant meaning. I am. And then whatever follows that, that's what you will become. And if you are that now, you will continue to become that. So if you're in dishonor, you will continue to be in dishonor. Right? The strong I am is absolutely necessary. Know who you are. What law language, what is your heritage? What law language do you speak? Okay? Are you saving yourself with your words? or are you killing yourself with your words? Okay, death can be physical and civil. Y'all see that? This image right here represents our heritage. Can you speak this law language, y'all? Or are you speaking religious language? Christian religion, Islamic religion, Hebrew Israelite religion, Jewish religion. See, which law language do you speak? As soon as you open your mouth, your words are going to be used against you, or you recover and maintain your birthright as the sovereign on the land. All right, everybody sees what I'm doing. I hope I'm presenting this in an easy to understand way. If anybody doesn't put a 1 in the comment section, y'all, if this is easy to understand. Do that for me. Give me some feedback. Let me know if y'all understand me. I got a phone call from someone about a week ago, I think already. And they asked me to explain some things because they didn't understand what I was talking about in these videos. This person told me they didn't have the background. Okay, Shalom, a good brother. I joined your Ibaryath course scheduled for Saturdays 2 or 3 weeks ago, but, okay, this is from Mike and Luciana. Can you give me a walkthrough on how I can join into the live? This live discussion or the 506 The Curses course? 506 The Curses course is the class that I teach every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The 101 Ancient Ibaryath course, that's a streaming course that's available 24/7. And then I do this live stream course every day. So let me know which one are you talking about. If you want the Saturday class, the live Saturday, the Ibaryath course. Okay, so that's 101 Ancient Ibaryath. The link to that class, that's a streaming class, it's in the description area of this video. So click on that and then you can subscribe to it. If you want to come to our live online class on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, click on the 506 The Curses course link, Deuteronomy 28. That link is in the description area of this video also. Now, if anybody wants to come on and do one of these lives with me, you're welcome to do that. Just reach out to me by email and let me know what email link to send you. My email is yasapa@Zion Law School, YASAPA@ZionLawSchool.org, YASAPA@ZionLawSchool.org. I just asked, I have one request. Not request. I have one requirement. For those of you who come into a live stream, there's no debating, no arguing. You can say whatever you want in the live stream. I don't really, what people say, it doesn't bother me. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to, you're you and I'm me. But be cooperative. Don't be argumentative. And don't ask me to discuss any doctrines because I don't discuss doctrines. Okay? Discussing doctrines, from my experience, only leads to arguments and disagreements. Okay? So we will just be disciplined. Okay? But anybody's welcome to come in. You can say whatever you want to say. All right? Doesn't matter to me. But just be respectful and try to keep everything that you say, have something to do with the topic. Even if you support religion. That's okay with me. It doesn't bother me at all. In fact, if you have a religious point of view you would like to express, I see value in that, because there's a lot of other people who have the same view as you. So that's cool. Not a problem. Just don't disrespect people. All right. So everybody's welcome, okay? But again, all of the links are in the description area of the video, y'all. Mike and Luciana, did I answer your question, Mike? And by the way, I wasn't talking to Mike. Mike and I, we don't know each other. So I wasn't talking to Mike directly. I'm talking to everybody who hears this video. So Mike, no offense. I hope you didn't take it personally. I'm talking to everybody, not you, my man. Okay, so y'all, let's continue. Okay, so Venus, and now this is Greek mythology, y'all. Greek mythology. So we need to keep that in mind. It is Greek mythology, not Moorish. Oh, no offense taken. Okay, Islam, thank you. No offense taken. That's what Mike writes, all right? So this is not Sabian Moorish history or mythology. It's Greek mythology, so we need to question it. Now, much of the mythology is actual real history, hidden. Okay, Mike and Lucina writes, I tried the link in the past, but haven't had success connecting to your live course. Really? The 506 The Curses course? I'll tell you what, after the, send me an email. I'm going to check the link when I finish this live. I don't know why that link wouldn't be working, but I'm going to check the link. But send me an email, and I can also email you a copy of the link, but I'll replace the link and put a new link in the description area of this video, okay, when I get finished with this. And then hopefully you won't have a problem with it, but I'll definitely email it to you if you email me. Yasapa@zionlawschool.org. YASAPA@zionlawschool.org. YASAPA@Zion, ZION, lawschool.org. All right. Okay, so Aphrodite rules young manhood and young womanhood. The stage of Shakespeare's lover, sighting like a furnace. Okay, so that's a real intense hot love, right? Hot love. All right. So at this age, Ptolemy. Now y'all remember Ptolemy wrote one of the best works on ancient astrology. That's why he's cited here. So at this stage, says Ptolemy, who by his name he must have been Egyptian, right? There is an activity of the seminal passages. Seminal passages. Y'all see that? Seminal. What word do you see in seminal? Semen. Semen. As in sperm, as in oil, as in Christ. Do y'all catch that? At this stage, says Ptolemy, there is an activity of the seminal passages. So that's a quote, quote unquote, an activity of the seminal passages. And quote unquote, an impulse toward the embrace of love. That's taken from page 445. Now remember, seminal. You see in that word semen, that's the Christ, right? Yeah, that's the Christos, the oil. Ptolemy writes this on page 445. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 5 is what? 13. What is 13? 13 represents perfect rulership. It's not an unlucky number as we've been taught. 13 is the 12 apostles plus JC, the Christ figure. That's 13. That is perfect rulership. That is the kingdom of God coming down. Okay? Our Father who art in heaven, let your kingdom come. 12 apostles, the 12 constellations, and the Escheat and sun, the disk in the sky. 12 plus 1 is 13. Perfect rulership. Did you catch the meaning of that? Did you catch the meaning of that? The 12 constellations plus the sun, the orb in the sky, represent perfect rulership. Christ and his 12 apostles, who become his brothers, who rule with him in heaven, exercise perfect rulership. Y'all got that? So, this will offend some people, especially you religious people. JC said, I am the way. That's the Mazarah, the Zoad. I am the way. That's the Zodiac. The Christians were called the way first. Yeah, the Christians were called the way. These are, that means they're what? People who observe, mean they study and plan their life and live their life based upon natural law. At the most fundamental level, being an agricultural society. You need to know when to plant. You need to know how to irrigate, right? You need to, can you imagine trying to irrigate and you don't know nothing about water? The science of which is called what? Actually, I studied water in my undergraduate program. I got my undergraduate degree in water. Things that relate to water. The engineering concepts, water resources management. So the engineering concepts, the planning, like urban planning, concepts and techniques. And then of course, wastewater treatment and water supply, which is the cleaning and purification of water so you have water to drink. Okay, but can you imagine being in a civil society and nobody knows how to deal with water, or being in an agricultural society and nobody knows how to deal with water? How are you going to irrigate? How are you going to get clean water? Y'all see what I'm saying? This is natural law. You need to know something about the water cycle, right? And it's better that you master everything about the water cycle. See, now you become what? Now you become a creator. Psalms 82:6, you become a what? Quote unquote God, connotatively speaking. Why? Because you understand the physical phenomena of the water cycle and the underlying principles, the science and engineering associated with it, and now you're able to use the science to create whatever conditions that you want. Y'all see it? This is what makes us, quote unquote, or connotatively speaking, gods. Everybody see that? No hocus pocus, no religion, no devils and demons. It's nature and mastering nature. Now remember, we learn in school about the science, okay? But underneath those sciences, for example, chemistry, underneath that are what? The 7 Hermetic Principles. These are the natural laws that govern all of the sciences, including law, including linguistics, including architecture, right? Because that's all about symmetry, structure and strength, including government, so on and so forth, including consciousness, y'all. So let's continue. Okay? Oh, so yes. So there's no coincidence, in my opinion. Isn't Christ supposed to be the epitome or the best example of love, right, y'all? Isn't that right? The best example of health, spiritual health, right? You're going to be as rich can be in God's kingdom, right? Isn't that what's being said here? Or what you're taught in Christian theology? Okay, Christ is the God of love, and the Christian Christ is very often depicted as androgynous, but he's a God of love, right? And then, of course, semen, seminal passages, semen. Automatically, you should think oil, the Christ. Okay? Summer solstice, 4 plus 4, again, plus 5 is 13, etc., etc., etc. However, the sensuality and materialism which characterizes the planet's association with Taurus, while undoubtedly present in Libra, seem to manifest in a less gross form. So I'm not going to continue with that. Notice this, y'all. Venus is the planet of grace. I knew it was coming. So there's our grace from our table on 22. Venus is the planet of grace. Okay? So one of the zodiacal keywords was grace. We discussed it with the summer, with the fall equinox, but now we see it again in this context. Okay? So there's grace again. Okay? So Venus is the planet of grace, style, and refinement. Ptolemy gives us an exhaustive list of Venus's attributes. I'm on page 147, y'all. If Venus takes the domination of the soul, let me repeat that. If Venus alone takes the domination of the soul, now remember, soul is a remix. Soul is actually is a remix of soul in Latin, S-O-L, which is the sun, the orb in the sky. So keep that in mind. Soul is a remix that the Catholic Church came up with, and they created a problem solution out of this to control you. All right? Watch the other videos if y'all want to learn more about that. In an honorable position, there we go with the word honorable. Venus makes her subjects pleasant, good, luxurious, eloquent, neat, cheerful, fond of dancing, eager for beauty, haters of evil. Why? Because 12 hours a day and 12 hours a night, there's no evil. There's no injustice, right? There's righteousness only. Lovers of the art, fond of spectacles, decorous, healthy, dreamers of pleasant dreams, affectionate, beneficent, compassionate, fastidious, easily consolated, successful, and in general, charming. There's our charming. There's charming. So these are all what? These are all states of mind and conditions that you would find where? In Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1 through 14, the blessings. These are conditions when people are living well. They're living well, not just materially, but they don't have anything to fear. Why? Because there's no injustice, there's no unrighteousness. There's equity and fairness. In commerce, everybody is honorable. Y'all see that? So people are keeping the covenant. They're keeping the covenant. No one has corrupted the blood. No one has cheated in commerce, which would result in what? Corruption of the blood of the covenant. No one is behaving dishonorably, which would result in corruption of the blood of the covenant. The blood meaning the family. The family is the nation. Everybody see that? So dishonor stains not only you, but your family. What is that stain? The stain is now they are dishonorable or in dishonor because of you. And therefore there's going to be a attainder. Y'all see it? Neither you can inherit, nor your offspring can inherit, nor your heirs can inherit. They can't inherit from you or anybody else in your family. In your family line, extended outward, they can't inherit from anyone else in your nation. Why? Because of the corruption of the blood. What's the corruption of the blood? Well, we already discussed it. It's dishonorable behavior. Behavior that's out of harmony with nature. Everybody see that? We're looking at all of these concepts right here. Everything that I reviewed in here. Okay? So the attainder comes at Deuteronomy chapter 28, 15 through 68. Loss of what? Loss of nationality, civil death and physical death, poverty, chronic illness, fear. It's what? It's the polar opposite of the blessings. The blessings, June 21, the Christ, the summer solstice, right? Honor. The curses, December 21, the winter solstice, where darkness is thick, gloom is thick. Y'all see it? So what? This is the blessings and the curses. It's the same nature, but what? It differs in degree or varies in degree. Everybody see that? That's the Hermetic law of polarity. Movement up and down. This line is called vibration. There's always movement. But you can use your mind power. You can use your mind power That means having a strong masculine mental energy. That's the law of gender. To polarize. To polarize anywhere along this line that you want. And if you don't do it, guess what? Somebody outside of yourself is and will be successful at polarizing you in dishonor. It's already being done. This is how they're keeping us in dishonor. Keeping us, dishonor would be what? Uncivilized. Right? Uncivilized. See, in order to be harmonic with nature, you need to be civilized. Y'all see that? So you can use the law of rhythm to polarize anywhere you want here. You can do it consciously, or it can be done to you without you being consciously aware that somebody else is aiming and directing their masculine gender energy on you, and hence controlling you without you knowing it. Now, if you're a man, you know what that makes you, to be controlled by somebody else. Begins with a B, right? So now that you're aware, man up. Return to the Most High. Okay, let's continue. So faults. So why would we need to look at faults for Venus? Well, because if you know the good things about the personality, you should also learn what? The bad. So now we're dealing with what? The opposites again. Okay, so once you learn the opposites of character traits or emotions, now you can begin to what? Correct your character. You can begin to correct your character. So where you're dishonorable, you can do the opposite. Y'all see how this works? Okay, so let's see what they have here. Although Ptolemy does go on to mention a few possible faults, such as erotic and timid. So Venus can be erotic and timid. So if you are erotic and timid, you do the opposite, right? You do the opposite. Then what do? Study up on the Hermetic laws. Primarily what? Mentalism, polarization, vibration, and especially focus on rhythm and mental gender. Don't just study it, do it. Okay, do it, and when you do it long enough, it will become a habit. And that habit is a synonym for polarization. So when I say polarization, you can polarize here or you can polarize there. That's your habit. Y'all see it? And it's that habit or habitual honorable behavior, the habitual law language that you're speaking of nature, that will empower you to invoke your treaty rights. Okay, Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1836, between the Moroccan Empire and the United States for North America. For North America, okay? Now you can get your inheritance back and protect your kinfolk, yourself, and your heirs. All right? See how it works, y'all? It may sound simple, but it's very important. It's very, very important. And don't forget that you're going to be met with opposition from people close to you. Even Christ said it will be people from your own household. Remember? He said it will be people from your own household. A sword. How does the verse go? Does it say, Does he use the word sword? It's been so long since I read that. If he said sword, of course we would be thinking in terms of what? Word. Words. Words. Remember sword. Put the S in the back of the D and you get words. Words would be what? Law language, jurisdiction. Okay? So you wake up, you find out that you are a Moor, Genesis chapter 2, an autochthonous man or woman, and you begin to what? Harmonize yourself with nature by following the Most High's commandments. You begin to speak the law language of nature, but everybody in your house, your kinfolk, or maybe even your heirs and your friends, they're all speaking the law language of maritime admiralty law, canon law, all of the religions. Okay? They are civilly dead, and you have been resurrected back to life. Okay, so y'all speak in two totally different languages, two totally different jurisdictions. All right, so it comes with betrayal by those close to you and other challenges and tests. Okay, but in the end, you get your heritage back. All right. So it's a learning process. It's just like building any skill. You know, you go to the gym, maybe you're overweight, out of shape, right? But you gotta be consistent, go every day, eat right, all of that, and with a lot of effort, a lot of investment of time, energy, resources, maybe even mental anguish. You know, as you transition, break those eating habits, addictions to sweets, etc. It's painful, but eventually you become fit, very fit, and then you're happy and it was all worth it. All right? So we still haven't gotten to the rich man. I think I need to stop talking. Okay. So now we're going to move to the subheading, the spiritual lessons of Libra. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me peruse this. Okay, so we already covered that, so I'm not going to spend any time on that. Okay, so balance and the rich young man are on page 150. Wow. Here, if you can see it, the author just identifies the Hermetic law of polarization. Y'all, I'm gonna read this. Y'all tell me if you can see polarization here. Balance. The importance of personal balance is stressed in Taoism. The most Libra of the world religions. So Taoism is the most Libra of all the world religions. In other words, Taoism shows the most balance of all of these world religions. Notice this. The importance of personal balance is stressed in Taoism, the most Libra of the world religions, in which the unity of opposites, the yang and the yin within the psyche, is a condition of personal growth and social harmony. Now remember, social harmony, that has to do with relationships, marriage, according to the text, right? Marriage, partnerships, business relationships, getting along with other people, cooperating with other people. Remember all of that? The condition of personal growth. So what is personal growth? Personal growth, in the context that we're talking about it, can be what? Moving from dishonor into honor. Okay? Moving from dishonor into honor. Learning about the Hermetic laws. But this is nature. Following the Most High's commandments. Okay? And how are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? Well, you understand polarity. You understand vibration. You understand rhythm. And you understand mental gender. And there you have it. And polarizing simply means habit. And this is what Napoleon Hill talked about when he talked about cosmic habit force. Cosmic habit force, polarizing rhythmically anywhere where you want. Okay? This is the same nature. This is anything that has the same nature. This is one opposite. This is one end. This is the opposite end. Okay? The devil is the opposer on the opposite end of the same line. Right? So the devil and the Christ are the same. The devil is the opposer because the devil is on the opposite end of the same line as the Christ. Y'all see it? Coward and courage. Hot and cold. Everybody see it? Hate and love. Polarization. The author says it right here. So if you know these concepts, you'll see it. I hope everyone saw it. All right? Unity of opposites means polarization. Unity of opposites. See that? Same nature. Opposites, but they're unified. Unified here. This is the same line. They're just extreme opposites. Everybody see that? See the natural law there? Notice this. Here's an example of honor. Here's an example of honor. Page 150. We're dealing with balance. In ancient times, people lived holistic lives. They didn't overemphasize intellect, but integrated mind, body, and spirit. Mind, body, and spirit. Y'all got that? See, those are the foundations, actually. Those are the foundations. Let me rephrase that. There are 3 levels of the Hermetic laws. All is mind. Physical, that's, okay, here they're calling it body. And then spirit. That's cosmos in this context. Y'all see that? But that's not the point I wanted to make. Okay, so all of these are integrated. That's how our ancient ancestors lived. Understand that true growth comes from meeting and solving problems of life in a way that is harmonizing to yourself and to others. That's do no harm. That's the essence of natural law when you're having intercourse with other people. I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about human relations, commerce, etc. Harmonizing means do no harm, not harming other people. That means what? Staying in honor at all costs. Everybody see that? So in this case, you're polarizing in honor. And that activates the law of compensation. right? The law of compensation, which, for example, let's say you put in all the work, you did everything you were supposed to do, and you didn't get what you deserved. And let's say that went on for 5, 10 years, 12, 15 years. But if you keep doing it, you will be compensated. Well, why isn't the compensation coming faster? Because there's something that you are inadequate in. Something you need to learn. So, just as the pendulum, as far as the pendulum swings this way, that's your 12, 15 years of putting the work in and not being fairly compensated. Once you learn everything that you need to learn, okay, now this is the law of rhythm that we're dealing with. The pendulum will swing equally in the opposite direction. Y'all see that? This is the law of compensation. And this represents that day when you achieve everything, or you get the riches, or whatever thing that you deserve. Shalawama, right? That's your shalawama. Okay, so if somebody takes advantage of you, robs you, cheats you, okay, but you keep working at it, you keep going at it, the pendulum will eventually swing and you'll get compensated. But you can disrupt that by doing what? By giving up. See, if you give up, well, that's it. Right? That's it. You deactivate it. Okay, that's why it's so important to never give up. See, defeat only occurs when you accept defeat. Y'all see that? But anyway, let's continue. So the law of cause and effect and the law of compensation will work on your behalf, right? And all you have to do is keep doing what you're doing. Keep learning. Stay in honor at all costs, right? That's all you really need to do. And you will get there, even though you don't know how, even though you can't see it, it will happen for you. But you must know that you have the creative power in your mind to do it, right? You just need to do what? Build your character and accept that you are a creative power, quote unquote, a God. And you've got to get to the point where you believe that. And your life represents that. All right? And there's nobody who can threaten you, bully you, or injure you enough where you stop believing in yourself or knowing who you are. Everybody see it? Okay, let's continue. Unless the mind and body and spirit are equally developed, that's your circle 7, right? The compass and the square. All right, the honorable behavior. That means you must be what? You must be reconnected to nature in order for this to happen. This will not happen in religion. Okay? And fully integrated, no wisdom can be sustained. All right? So in other words, you may, I heard some Hebrew Israelites talking about wisdom. But my thought, I don't remember what they were talking about. But the New Testament falls apart because it detaches people from nature. So if you understand nature and you start reading some of the things in the New Testament, you'll begin to see that that's religious wisdom. But that's not wisdom according to nature. They're very different. Very, very different. Okay? Very different. All right. Anyway, I'm not going to go through that more. How long have we been going? What? You know what, y'all? I don't know how much of my video. My screen says we've only been live 20 minutes. I know we've been live. I know this video has been longer than 20 minutes. Can somebody put a 1 in the comment section? Let me know if the stream has been continuous or if the stream was interrupted. Right now I'm showing that I've only been live for 20 minutes. Can somebody put a 1 in the comments? Let me know. Has the stream been interrupted? Did I just come back on, or y'all been with me for the whole time? Put a 1 in the comment section. I mean, have I been talking to myself? Y'all didn't hear anything I've been doing, talking about? It says, Roro Armani, I just logged on. All right. I've been going, I don't know how long. It feels like at least an hour, hour and a half, I guess. But I haven't been paying attention. Okay, so it's been going? All right. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. All right, so we have a continuous stream. All right. I don't know why, you know, the stats, I need to just ignore this because it's a distraction. Okay, so the rich young man starts on page 50. Page 50. Okay, so it says here, Mike and Luciana writes, we've heard it all. Excellent. Much appreciated. The section devoted to marriage is followed by the story of the rich young man. Okay? So now we're dealing with Mark chapter 10, verse 17 through 31. So verse 1 through 16 had to do with marriage. 17 through 31 has to do with the rich young man, according to what I'm looking at. So the rich young man comes up to JC, the Christ figure, kneels before him and asks, good teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life? Now y'all know what happens, G-O-O-D, when you drop one of the double O's, you get G-O-D, right? Y'all see that? And it's capital G-O-D, teacher, capital good, teacher. Double O, so you can drop one of the O's, you get capital G-O-D, meaning that this teacher is the deity. If you're looking at it and you understand grammar, and if you understand where this word capital G-O-D and lowercase G-O-D comes from. JC, the Christ figure, is the sun. The sun is the tetragrammaton, aton, atone, YHWH, Apollo, all of that. All of the solar deities. So, good teacher, what must I do to inherit everlasting life? JC says to him, why do you call me good? Now this is lowercase g. Lowercase G-O-O-D. Remove One of the O's you get lowercase g-o-d. A what? A lesser god, a lesser deity. Only capital G-O-D is good. Y'all see how they're playing with these words? Only capital G-O-D is lowercase g-o-d. Now, I might sound crazy to some of y'all, but these things, these kind of tricks take place all the time when you start studying these documents. You see all kind of tricks, okay, to hide information. So y'all can accept it or not accept it. That's on y'all. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just pointing it out, showing you the evidence, showing you what's there that you might not have seen or that you don't recognize. Okay? All right. So this reply has been a source of acute embarrassment to the church, since it seems to undermine the status as the status of JC the Christ figure as quote unquote capital G-O-D incarnate. That's the supreme deity in the flesh, right, y'all? That's Zeus in the flesh. That's Dios and Dias in the flesh. That's Odin and Woden in the flesh. That's YHWH in the flesh. That is Aton or Aten in the flesh. Okay, so let me repeat this to y'all. The young man, the rich young man, comes running to JC, the Christ figure, kneels before him, and asks, quote unquote, "Good teacher, what must I do to inherit everlasting life?" JC says to him, "Why do you call me good? Only capital G-O-D is good." Y'all can check that at Mark chapter 10, verse 38. This reply, or JC's reply, has been a source of acute embarrassment to the church. So why is the church embarrassed about JC's reply here? Since it seems to undermine the status as JC as the supreme deity, or capital G-O-D incarnated. Y'all see that? JC's own words. JC denies that he is the supreme creator. He denies it. Right? Why? Because he is the Son, the S-O-N. He is the S-U-N, the Son of quote unquote God. Y'all see it? The Gospels tell the story of the S-U-N as it travels in and out of each zodiac sign over the course of 1 year, the Maserat, the Zoad, the Sun, the S-U-N. Y'all see it? This is the argument that our ancestors, the Sabian Moors had with the dark priesthood, those renegade Moors and their Han-Uman hybrid troglodyte, Paleolithic soldiers and servants who remixed the Gospels into a biographical, historical account of a man named JC titled the Christ. And the Sabian Moors argued against that. Our ancestor says, no, these Gospels tell the story of the Zodiac, the sun traveling through the Zodiac every year. Okay? And then that's the big fight. Okay? So the Christians, those Christians waged war against our ancestors, the Sabian Moors. And that war is still going on against you and I. Right? This is the Attainder in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 through 68. In fact, I might start referring to the curses as the Attainder. Right? Because it means that we have been disinherited or denationalized due to the corruption of the blood. Actually, that's better. From this point forward, I'm going to start referring to the curses as the Attainder. Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68 is the Attainder. Okay, that's where we get bills of attainder from, when it comes from a legislative body. All right? So if y'all agree with that, let's adopt that language, okay? Stop calling it the curses. And I think a lot of people are offended by that word, the curses. I know I've had lots of people tell me that they couldn't accept that because they can't believe that we are a cursed people, right? But these people may be able to understand and appreciate the concept of attainder due to the corruption of the blood, right? Due to the dishonorable behavior that has disconnected you from your ancestors. And if you extend that out, disconnects the nation from nature. Right? Y'all look that up in the Black's Law Dictionary. So everything that happens in Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68 is an attainder. Okay? And actually, we can call it a bill of attainder, right? Because we're dealing with a contract. Right? It says it itself. The Mosaic Covenant. And that came from the greatest lawmaker, right? Nature itself. Okay? But anyway, I have to work that out to see how best to how to best categorize it. What's the best subheading for that? All right, y'all. And the embarrassment was felt early on. Matthew has JC say, quote, "Why do you ask me about what is good?" That's at Matthew 19:17. A slight but significant change, which does less damage to JC's image as a divine figure. So someone may say, oh, so what? Was not so what, because what JC says has to do with law. Therefore, it has to do with keeping the Most High's commandments. So this is of utmost importance to understand. Y'all see that? This has to do with his status as the Christ. Right? And that status is what the religious people, our people, are putting their faith or giving full faith and credit to. Let me put it that way. It's what our people are giving full faith and credit to. Right? But it's fraudulent. It's fraud. So therefore it's void from the beginning. Okay, y'all? Let's continue. But this passage has nothing to do with JC's ontological status. And Mark's version is absolutely crucial to a proper understanding of the text. Mark's version is the first gospel. Matthew and Luke were compiled, or Matthew or Mark was used as an outline to write Matthew and Luke, okay? By repudiating all claim to quote unquote goodness, which, now you know if you remove one of those O's, you get godness. By repudiating all claims to godness or deityship, which in its controversial sense is used to describe someone who operates comfortably within the mores of society, or mores. Y'all see that? See, we need to pay special attention to the vocabulary that's used. Now, some of y'all might say, oh, I'm taking it too far. Okay? You might say that. But that's an indication to me that you're indifferent or lackadaisical. Because they're ruling us through words, through spells. And it's your indifference, thinking that the details doesn't matter, that's part of the reason why you and our ancestors had and continue in the present to corrupt the blood of the covenant, because you're indifferent. You don't want to look at the details. Okay, every word matters. Every word matters. Every grammar rule matters. So why did they use within the mores? Y'all see that? Within the mores of society. Now the context is the Christ. Whether the Christ is a deity or not. Whether the Christ is the supreme creator or not. Whether the Christ is the sun in the sky, physical phenomena, the Zodiac and the sun in the sky, or whether the Christ is a biographical, historical person. Y'all see that? By repudiating all claims to goodness, which in the conventional sense is used to describe someone who operates comfortably within the mores of society. JC is teaching that quote unquote becoming good, while it might be a byproduct of spiritual life, is not the object of it. It is good, being good. This is precisely the lesson JC wants to teach the young man. The story continues. I'm going to come back to this, y'all. Let me go to Mark chapter 10, verse 19 and 20 through 22. You know the commandments. There you are. So people can't say, oh, Dr. Yasapa is nitpicking, or the author here is nitpicking. Let's not talk about differences in the text. Let's focus on keeping the Most High's commandments. Well, here we are. This whole discussion has to do with keeping the Most High's commandments out of JC's own mouth. Matthew 10, 19 through 22. You know the commandments. Do not murder. Do not commit adultery. See, this is do no harm, right? Do not steal. Do not give false testimony. Do not defraud. In other words, do not harm someone else. Y'all see that? That's the essence. That is natural law right there. Don't harm anyone. That is love, truth, freedom, and justice. Okay, the 5 points, the 5 principles. Notice next, honor your father and mother. Y'all see that? Honor means what? Keep the commandments. Remember, Moses read the words of the covenant. Moses read the contract to the people. The people all agreed. Okay, we're going to do everything that we're told to do. Stated differently, we will follow the Most High's commandments. What commandments? The instructions are to follow natural law. Live your life in harmony with natural law. When dealing with each other, man to man, woman to woman, man to woman, kin to kin, heir to heir, etc., however you want to mix it, whatever the relationship it might be, business, family, whatever it might be, don't harm anyone. Okay? In other words, be honorable. And be honorable at all costs. Simple, right? Simple. Simple. Honor your mother and your father. That just means keep the commandment. After the people agreed, Moses read the law. The people agreed, and what did he do? He sprinkled blood. Not blood from an animal. Blood from the grapes. Right? Grapes comes from the harvest. That's the covenant of grace, right? In agricultural society, even now, everybody loves wine. Wine is the climactic part of the harvest. So Moses took the best that they had. And y'all know that wine would be consumed when there's no water available. So wine could very well preserve life. Everybody understand? So Moses sprinkled the people. Of course, he didn't sprinkle the whole nation, right? Because he just had a bowl. He sprinkled the people with the wine, the blood of the grapes. The blood of the grapes is a concrete way of representing the family relation. The blood or the family relation sense of the meaning of blood. Y'all see that? Y'all see it? So, when we have the situation, for example, with Prophet Noble Darrell-El telling us that we have to return to the ways or the principles of our ancient foremothers and forefathers, this is exactly what he's talking about, in my opinion. And I say it confidently. Let me let this machine turn off. One moment. Okay, so why can I say it? Well, because it's obvious. It's obvious. It harmonizes with the commandments. It harmonizes. Basically, it's saying the same thing using different words is what I'm trying to say. With the law, with our commandments. In religion, y'all call it the Mosaic Covenant. I call it a contract. Okay? Did Noble Darrell-El say that we lost our estate, our vast estate? Doesn't the contract say that we would be kicked out of the promised land? Doesn't it say we would lose our status? Absolutely. Doesn't it say that we would become civilly dead? Absolutely. Civilly dead how? We would be pushed into somebody else's land. Other nations, scattered across, right? Other nations. Okay, so that means stateless person. That means civilly dead, under the protection of foreigners. Everybody see that? So these are equivalents, y'all. Everybody see that? He also said that the only way to recover your heritage would be to return to living out the principles of your ancient foremothers and forefathers. In other words, he said you need to come back and start keeping these commandments. That's what he said. Equivalent statement. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. That's do no harm. Okay? All of the commandments, everything is there. All right? And then once we do that, we do what? We get our birthright back. Once we do that, we get brought back into what? Our own land. Y'all read Deuteronomy 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, etc., etc., etc. to get more on that. But let's go back here. Let's continue. Teacher, the rich man, this is the rich man speaking. Teacher, he declared, all these things I have kept since I was a boy. Okay, so the rich man is saying that I've been honorable since I was a boy. JC looked at him and loved him. Ooh, that's problematic because y'all know the story of JC, right? In the secret gospel, which the Catholics removed, the story of JC. Y'all remember that? How he invited the young boy to his room and advised him only wear loincloth. Today, that would be something like a jockstrap. To come to his house in the evening. You know what that suggests. Can you imagine? Let's say your brother or your father or your husband or your whoever, a man, inviting a boy, a child, or a teenager over to your house or his house. Let's say your house while you ain't home. Or his house if y'all don't stay together, right? And he tells that boy, come to his house in the evening and don't wear nothing but a jockstrap. Because he's going to teach him the mysteries of the kingdom of God. Y'all know what that's about, right? You know what that's about. And he's going to stay overnight and not leave until late in the morning or the afternoon. Y'all know what that's about. So now here you see JC looking at the rich man, and he loved him. Okay? This is what I'm thinking. Okay, because I know about the homosexuality. Y'all can read about that. This is our textbook. The link is in the description area of this video. Read about the secret book of Mark and those verses. Okay? So don't be offended. I'm talking about the evidence and the facts. All right? So he loved him. For me, I got a problem with that. It reminds me of the homosexuality associated with JC, the Christ figure, that has been hidden, removed by the Catholic Church. One thing you lack, he said, he is JC. Go, sell everything you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Oh, I have a problem with that. He told him to sell his inheritance. Y'all hear that? He told him to sell everything he has inherited and possibly earned that he would leave as an inheritance to his heirs. JC, I'm going to repeat that, told the young man to sell it. Doesn't matter if he gives it to the poor. Let me repeat that. He says, and give it to the poor. So whether he sells it or gives it away for free, do y'all see that that goes against nature? Because his heirs have first rights to his property. Y'all see that? He would be harming his heirs, whether he had heirs at that time or in the future. To give up your hereditaments, to leave your heirs with nothing, whether you have them now or not, you're harming them. So what, they're going to start life with nothing? They're going to start life poor? Y'all see how this goes against nature? I hope you can see it. So this is not some honorable thing that we have been taught in Christianity. The heirs are entitled to, by birthright, his property. Clear? Hope everybody sees that. And you will have treasure where? Treasure in heaven. Well, what good is that? Okay? In fact, treasure is tangible, right? Treasure is gold and silver, precious metals, jewels, land, resources, energy. That's treasure. What good are those things that are tangible in the spiritual realm? What good is gold going to do you in the spiritual realm? None. What good are jewels, diamonds and pearls? These are physical things. What good are they going to do you in the spiritual realm? Y'all see that? When you think about these things, and you will have treasure in heaven. Well, what's the treasure? That's ambiguous. That's left for you to imagine. Y'all see it? And you will have treasure in heaven. What is that treasure? It doesn't specify. Okay? So what is this? What is this initiating? This initiates your imagination to activate and to imagine what the treasure might be. Most people are going to think gold and silver, jewels, and all of these kinds of things. But those tangible things cannot and do not exist in the spiritual realm, according to their doctrine. Everybody see that? So this is a great finesse. This is BS. Then come follow me. Then come follow me. At this, the man's face fell. This man was very intelligent. Okay, he had common sense. And that common sense told him, don't give his property away. Now, can you give something to the poor? Absolutely. But you should maintain the vast, vast majority of it to give to your heirs, so that you can stay in harmony with nature. Right? We are required to accumulate tangible material wealth so that we can give to our heirs. That's why we were given land allotments, right? So that our heirs, so that we and then our heirs, the next generations of us, would have something. Okay? To leave them nothing, they're starting off life with this severe disadvantage. Y'all see why I'm always saying that the New Testament is genocidal? Very genocidal. But our people don't know this. They think that this is spiritual stuff that's going to get them closer to their supreme deity, that it's going to help them. But in fact, it's harming them. Why? Because they're disconnected from nature. They don't have common sense. Hold on. Wait for the noise to stop. One moment. Okay. So let's get into the author's comments here. Page 151. All right. This young man epitomizes everything that is noble and virtuous in Judaism. That's religion, not the nation. Noble and virtuous, he was honorable, right? He kept the commandments, followed the Most High's instructions. He was harmonic with nature. According to conventional wisdom at the time, his prosperity is a reward for his scrupulous observance of the law. That's not conventional wisdom, y'all. That's not the conventional wisdom of the time. Wealth has a cause and effect relationship with living in harmony with nature. All right? Some people call it manifesting. The contract promises blessings and curses, or material wealth and attainder. So living in harmony with nature, being honorable, has a cause and effect relationship of material wealth. Being dishonorable has a cause and effect relationship, which is attainder. Loss of status, poverty, civil death, physical death, all of that stuff, the curses, right? So this is not about conventional wisdom. This is about the Most High's instructions, his commandments. Okay? Cause and effect is a Hermetic law. Okay? So his prosperity is a reward for his scrupulous observance of the law and stands as a guarantee that he is speaking the truth about honoring his contractual agreement with capital G-O-D. Honor your mothers and your fathers, right? Or live the principles of your ancient foremothers and forefathers. These universal principles, love, truth, freedom, justice. Well, y'all know what I'm talking about. I can remember. It's not in my memory right now, but I'll come back to it. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. There we are, the 5 points. Okay, those principles. Okay, honor. Psalms 37 testifies the capital L-O-R-D is good to the righteous. Okay? This is what? The Hermetic law of cause and effect. Also, evil or wicked to the dishonorable through the law of cause and effect. Right? The Most High causes evil and good. Polarization. Same nature, varying in degrees, the law of cause and effect, etc., etc., etc. Everything we talked about the Hermetic laws. All right? So let's continue. Moreover, the man is lovable. See, talking about love in the context of JC, the Christ figure, is distasteful for me because of the secret gospel of Mark, the homosexuality and these kind of things. JC instantly recognizes that his dutiful approach to life, notice this, his dutiful approach to life has in no way diminished his attractiveness as a human being, as a Han Uman. Remember, we're talking religion. We might assume he possesses all the characteristics of the Libra, Venus personality as outlined above. And today the man would be held as a great model of religious piety. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He would be an honorable man. Not a religious man, an honorable man. An enviable figure, an exemplary citizen. Y'all see that? Everybody see that? This honorable man would have a strong masculine energy, and he would be what? Qualified to invoke consular jurisdiction to protect or to enforce his rights. Everybody see it? No religion. When you start talking religion, thinking in religious paradigms, you automatically put yourself in a civiliter mortuus state or status. You're civilly dead. Off the rip, you're in dishonor. You're disconnected from nature. You don't know who you is. For JC, however, the man has one failing. He is too committed to a life of ease. Now remember, scholars, we Moors are in the covenant of grace. That is a life of ease. Everything has been provided for us. Mother Earth gives us her bounty. We don't have to do anything for it. We didn't do any work to deserve it. It is a birthright. This is the covenant of grace. This is the harvest. Y'all see it? Here it is right here. Now this is Libra, but remember, Virgo and Libra are close. So there's no sharp cutoff, right? Remember, this is mutable over here. So it's just not a sharp cutoff, okay? It's mutable and a transition. We're born in the covenant of grace. Justice. Okay? So we're born in the covenant of grace. We don't have to do any hard work and toil unless what? Unless we are in the Attainder part of the contract. Right? We've been disinherited, disconnected from our nationality, from our bloodline. We're in the curses. Everybody see it? We're getting hit with bills of attainder, these mortgages, traffic tickets. all of these bottomry instruments. Okay, y'all? Uh-oh. Okay. So let's continue. So the man should be interested in enjoying his wealth. It should be the highlight of his life. It should be the dominating aspect of his mind, his wealth, his life of ease. Yeah, because he's in the covenant of grace. Thinking about labor and hardship should be the last thing on his mind. Right? Why? Because he's honorable. And therefore the law of nature, sealed by the contract, should continuously provide him a life of ease and comfort as a right. Didn't do anything for it, to earn it, just born with it. Covenant of grace. But JC is condemning him for that. Y'all see it? JC condemns him for enjoying his status, his rightful place as a natural heir who's competent to inherit. Y'all see it? Who is, quote unquote, God on this earth plane? The mental, physical, and spiritual plane. Y'all see it? Everybody see it? JC is condemning him for that. Notice what JC says. For JC, however, the man has one major failing. He is too committed to a life of ease. In other words, he's too committed to his birthright. He's too committed to maintaining his birthright. Okay? To be a serious candidate for the spiritual life, to be a serious candidate for religion, for a religious life, which demands that we relinquish our attachments to fleshly pleasures. Stated differently, to be religious means you got to give up your birthright. You give up your birthright, there are only two options. There's the blessings and the attainder. That means you go from life, the living man, the sovereign, the rightful heir of all land, all resources, all commerce and contracts, all energies, terrestrial and cosmic. You give it up. To put yourself in a civilly dead jurisdiction where you are a bondman or bondwoman, where you are an animal. Nature, okay, the rightful heir, religion, civil dead or civil death, nature, maritime admiralty, canon law, Christian/religious doctrine, civilly dead, bondman, bondwoman, goyim, herds, cattle, the sovereign man, woman, Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, the rightful heir. All right, everybody see it? Here it is, the law of polarity. Same nature, varies in degree. All depends on what? Where you polarize. What your habits are. Are you honorable or dishonorable? Do you appreciate your birthrights? Do you enforce them? Or are you like Esau, who will sell your who sold his birthright? Are you selling your birthright? Y'all see it? If you're in religion, you are in dishonor automatically. You're getting the attainder. Y'all see it? All right. Those were the Hermetic Principles. Okay. So let's continue. So JC is telling you to become a religious person to get the spiritual reward that religion offers you, which is what? Dying and going to heaven, or entering into the kingdom of God. But the treasure has never been specifically defined. It cannot be physical, tangible gold, silver, precious jewels, etc., etc. Because these are tangible things that exist in the physical realm. They cannot exist in the spiritual realm. Y'all see it? So it's a big finesse. JC saying if you want to get this big bag of spiritual nothing, then you need to repudiate, speak against your birthright. Speak against diversity of citizenship. Speak against the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1836. The Moroccan Empire and the United States for North America. Speak against all of that. Speak against you being the people. See, remember your words, your words and justice. Y'all see the sword? Take the S off, put it behind the D. Your words and justice. Right? Words cut like a knife. They can save you, or they can destroy you. So let's continue. According to conventional wisdom, we already went through that. Okay, all right, here we are. Okay, so JC says you have to relinquish your attachments to fleshly pleasures. Now go read the blessings, Deuteronomy 28. These are things that lead to fleshly pleasures. Read them. All of the blessings lead to pleasures, happiness, okay? Even the innocent ones. Y'all see that? So we're talking about Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14. JC is saying, give up your birthright. Agree to be Civiliter Mortuus. Disconnect yourself from nature. Accept the jurisdiction of Oannes, the Raphaim, the Dogon, the Pope, the church, all of the religions. Accept them having authority over your life, where you become the debtor. The natural law, in your proper status, you are the creditor. You're the master. Okay? So take note of what's happening here with the religion. JC would have agreed with Wittgenstein, who said somewhere that whatever life is about, it certainly isn't about having a good time. Remember, Christianity says you need to suffer. You need to pick up your torture stake and suffer like Christ so that you can get the heavenly reward, which is undefined. What is the heavenly reward? It is unspecified. Up to your imagination, whatever you want it to be. Okay? But what I'm telling you is that you should be focused on the good life, the easy life. That should be your main focus, such that you return to the Most High by following His commandments and re-enter into the covenant of grace. Get out of the Attainder situation. Get out of it. Walk away from it. Islam to all the Moors. I'm Dr. Yasapa from Zion Law School. support my project to write the book of the law in Ancient Ibaryath and modern English, and to restore it to its pristine state that our ancient ancestors would have read when they had it. Okay? It is a book of science. It is a book of science, natural law, science. It is not a religious book. So support the project so that I can put it together and show you. I'll put the natural law back in there. You'll see the etymology, you'll see the grammar rules, part of speech, etc., etc., etc. You will see it, and you'll be able to study from it. So support that project. Enroll in the 101 Ancient Ibaryath course so you can get the fundamentals of Ancient Ibaryath, which are absolutely necessary to understand these documents. The Devil's Pulpit is so famous. It is the authority on astrotheology because, listen to me, because it presents to the reader etymology, the real meaning of words, which gives you insight into the real meaning of the verse of the text, complemented with philology, architecture, art, mythology, so on and so forth, to understand what the text says. Okay, so you'll get this information in the 101 Ancient Ibaryath course, okay? This is what we deal with in our Saturday at 10 a.m. class, which is called 506 The Curses course. 506 The Curses course, where I take you through that, how to use these concepts more in depth than what you get in the 101 Ancient Ibaryath course. That course, the 101 Ancient Ibaryath course, is an online course. It's streaming, available 24/7. Okay, it'll give you the basics. You have to study it. Just like everything else, right? You need to study it. You gain an appreciation of what etymology is about and how it can change meaning. All right? So in the 506 The Curses course, what you read in the Devil's Pulpit is nothing compared to what you'll get in 506 The Curses course. Okay, which deals with Deuteronomy chapter 28. All right, so I have many links to my Ancient Ibaryath books that I've written. You'll see the kind of information that I will put in the book of the law. If you all will support it, I'll put it together. If you want to see what kind of information I have in it, purchase any of my books. The links are in the description area of this video. I think I have 7 or 8 books, links. Make sure you purchase them on my website, zionlawschool.org. All right? So I'm doing the best that I can to get this information to you, not just the astrotheology, but also the Ancient Ibaryath, the etymology, the mythology, the Hermetic Principles, the natural law in our Constitution. I hope to work into what I'm doing here. The Zodiac Constitution, I think it's the 101, I can't remember the title, questions, and then also the Circle 7. So that's my goal. I'm doing it slowly but surely. If y'all been following me, watching my videos, you can see that I've been working this stuff in. Not a religious thing, but science. Okay, but science. As you can see, I've been showing you things about the ancient meaning of numbers and how Bible verses, chapter verse, have been assigned or flagged with numbers that have meaning in nature, but that we have been told that they are either evil or wicked numbers or negative numbers, like 13, like 6, okay, etc., etc., etc. So y'all hang in there with me, support the work that I'm doing, and I will add this other stuff in, and then hopefully in the next book that I start, I mean, we're almost done with this one, I'll be able to work through all of those documents that I mentioned as we continue to move forward with our astrotheology classes. All right? Islam to all the Moors. I'm Dr. Yasafa. Thank you in advance for your support. And those of you who support me every month, for your continued support. Any questions or anything like that, put it in the description area of the video. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten. So I'm about to bounce. Islam and Shalom.